let's get started. So before today's class, please join me as we pray the True Millionaire's Prayer by Brother Bo Sanchez. Lord, today we ask you to bless us so we may become a blessing to others. Lord, we commit ourselves to enrich others. But because we cannot give what we do not have, we commit ourselves to become rich. We commit ourselves to serve you and to serve the poor with our wealth. Today we open ourselves to the abundance of your universe. Use us as your channels of love. Give us the ability to create wealth that will bless the world. Increase our financial wisdom and expand our territories. We place our lives in your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our daily fun day habit. Thank you for joining our financial literacy class today. So can you give me a heart reaction if you're excited and ready for today's class? Can you give me a heart reaction? Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay, that's great. And I hope we are all ready to listen and to take notes as needed. You can also take screenshots of information that interests you all throughout the presentation. If you have questions, please write them down and talk to the person who invited you. We value your time with us and we will ensure that this next hour is going to be worth it. So for today, we will be discussing about 5 topics. We will get to know what IMG is. We will discuss about the financial challenges in 4 major areas. We will learn about the 4 basic financial concepts. We will introduce to you about Kaiser Healthcare Program, and we will share with you the benefits of being a part of the IMG community. And with these 5 topics, all of us should be able to learn something new, relearn something familiar, and unlearn something that needs changing. And to introduce myself, my name is Mayyu Cappleman-Bajet, and I will be your host for today. I am a marketing director here in IMG, and I am very much excited to share with you what I have learned by being a part of this community. In IMG, our mission is to educate 30 million Filipino families by 2030, and that's why I congratulate you for taking the first step towards financial literacy, towards overcoming poverty, towards financial independence. You are here because someone thought of you, and that someone believes that you will greatly benefit from what you will learn today. And what you're about to learn are all taken from this book entitled The Secret to Saving and Building Your Future. If you want to get a copy of this book, please ask your inviter for details. Okay? So what is IMG? So what you see on the screen is the official logo of IMG, its website, and its current campaign. So IMG stands for International Marketing Group. It is a global company that serves as an avenue in achieving financial security. It caters to the financial needs of every individual and families who wish to achieve financial independence. IMG's mission and vision is about helping every Filipino family to become wealthy or rich or financially secured by making financial education available for everyone regardless of status or professional background. And that is by teaching every Filipino how to save the right way. In IMG, we will share with you a financial planning strategy that is simple, clear, doable, and easy to understand. In other words, IMG is a financial brokerage company who assists individuals and families who want to help themselves achieve financial freedom through financial education. So we highlight financial education because we all know that money is powerful. It is powerful that it can either make or break us. In IMG, we will learn that there is something that is more powerful than money, and that is financial education. Financial education is not just for the rich, the wealthy, or the business people, but it is for everyone. Further, Financial education was not taught to us back in high school or college, when in fact it is an important subject, concept, or practice that we need to learn, just like math, science, or history. We were taught how to work for money, but we were not taught how to have money work for us. And it's time to change that mindset and practice. And that is why IMG aims to spread awareness to all Filipinos around the globe about financial education so that all of us can achieve financial success. Financial education aims to provide the necessary tools to achieve financial security. And we are here to share with you the basics of financial education because we believe that anyone is capable and should be given the opportunity to change his or her life for the better. Here in IMG, we also have people, we have mentors, we have coaches, we have trainers. Yes, we have people we look up to, people who are experts in their field to teach and guide us in our journey towards financial freedom. Showing you are the pillars of IMG, namely Sir Joan de las Peñas, Sir Noel Arandilla, and Sir Bart Borja. They are considered the big three of IMG. We also have notable mentors. We have Brother Bo Sanchez, who is a Catholic lay minister and writer of several financial literacy books, and Sir Rex Mendoza, who is known as the investment guru. He is the CEO of Ramver Financials, which is the leading mutual funds distributor in the country. So as a total financial solution, IMG will help us to become financially educated as well as give us the opportunities or platforms to apply our learnings. So if IMG is the total financial solution, what are then the problems or challenges that IMG aims to solve through financial education? So there are four major areas of financial challenges that a large number of Filipinos are facing or will be facing in the future. Okay? The first one is the uncertain labor market. So this means that there is no security or assurance that our jobs will last long, especially in the private sector. We're not certain if our jobs will be there in the next months or in the next year. So just like what happened to most of us during this pandemic, right? It's already or almost 2 years now. So nobody expected this to happen, yet it happened and it left thousands of Filipino families struggling to make ends meet. And with advancing software and technology, everything seems to be digital nowadays, right? So if you notice, automation is starting to take over. So kiosks such as what you see here located in fast food restaurants, cinemas, and anywhere else are now being widely used by most companies, thus replacing more and more human workers. The second major area is low savings and high debt. So a habit that adds to low savings and high debt is the mentality of party now or bahala na later or YOLO, you only live once, or bahala na si Batman. We spend our money without considering of our future. When we receive our paycheck, we rather eat out, watch a movie, go shopping, do online shopping, instead of saving first or setting aside money for emergencies. We are not saying that shopping is a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when we spend a big percentage or a big portion of our money just for shopping alone, and we don't even save. So our lifestyles and bad spending habits have a big impact on retirement. Instead of a worry-free retirement, the retirement money that we get is used to pay for our debts. In short, nothing is left for us to spend when we get old, and especially when we no longer have jobs. That is why there are people who continue to work beyond age 65 in order to survive. So they will take any job so they can have something to use for their daily expenses. The third major area is the high cost of education. In most schools, the increase in tuition happens every 6 years, but in some schools, it can be every year. So when we plan for our children's education, we must take these increases into consideration because the tuition fee this year might double or triple by the time our kids will start college. The bottom line here is there will always be expenses for education, whether our children are enrolled in public or private schools or in any school for that matter, and even when they have scholarships. And these expenses include allowances, food, school supplies, books, rent for housing or dorm, transportation, uniforms or clothes, computers, internet, and others, right? And we all want our children to be in a good school. Hence, majority of Filipinos need to save enough for the cost of a good education. And the fourth major area is the increasing cost of living. And this is directly affected by inflation. So inflation is the rate at which money loses its value and the level of prices for goods and services is rising. So as we can see here, the inflation rate last December 2020 was 3.5% and it went up to 4.2% in January this year and further up in April at 4.5%. And I think last July or August it was 4.9%. So the higher the inflation rate, the lower the value of our money. Let's take our 1,000 pesos for example. So 10 years ago, we can buy groceries that can last us 2 weeks with just 1,000 pesos. Today, that 1,000 pesos can only buy groceries that is good for 3 to 5 days, right? So that's, in this case, inflation affects the purchasing power of our money. So in summary, these are the 4 major areas where most Filipinos are financially challenged. So considering these challenges or the realities in life that all of us will face or are facing, the next question for us would be how do we overcome these challenges? What can we do? Right? Okay. So it is important to know that our future is not in the hands of anyone else, not our company, not our friends, not even the government. Nobody has the responsibility to make our life better and financially secure except us. In IMG, we will learn how to make money, save money the right way, accumulate money or how to grow it, and most importantly, to protect the money that we worked hard for. Moreover, we can be our own money manager. We can DIY managing our own money by understanding how money works and how it will work for us. That's why IMG encourages everyone to acquire financial education because financial education together with discipline will help us become wealthy and financially secure to overcome the challenges that we face in the 4 major areas. Okay? And to further understand how money works, let us first learn 4 basic financial concepts. So these are saving the right way, the X-curve concept, the power of compound interest using the rule of 72, and how to build a solid financial foundation. So the first one is saving the right way. So in general, people save money in 3 ways: the wrong way, the right way, and the abundant way using the abundance formula. So the wrong way of saving is shown as income minus expenses equals savings. This means that when we receive our income, we spend first on expenses and save what is left. This is the wrong formula of saving because what if there is nothing left to save? The possibility of having savings is very low if this is the way we save money. This means that we are not setting aside money for future expenses or emergencies. Okay? On the other hand, the right way of saving is income minus savings equals expenses. This means that when we receive our income, we save first and spend what is left. So this is the right way of saving because we prioritize in setting aside money for our future selves before spending them on our expenses. In short, paying ourselves first. So the possibility of having money for future expenses and emergencies is high when we follow this formula. Alright? And lastly, The abundant way of saving using the abundance formula is income minus tithes minus savings equals expenses. This is the abundance formula of saving because we strongly believe in sharing our wealth or sharing our blessings and giving back. So tithe is the money we give to the church or an organization that nurtures our spiritual growth. The amount of tithe is 10% of our income, and we can always adjust the percentage depending on our preference and capacity. So here it says earn 100%, give 10% of our income as tithe to God, invest 20%, and live on 70% of our income. And this allocation can be adjusted on how much, depending on how much our money is growing. We can give more, we can invest more, and we can cut down our expenses. Further, if the abundance formula of saving is not exactly a practice that we normally do, make sure then that we are saving the right way by paying ourselves first before spending money on expenses. That way, we will be secured with enough money for future expenses, for emergencies, and for retirement. Agree? Can you give me a thumbs up if you agree with me? Any thumbs up from our guest if you agree? Thank you very much. All right. And take note as well that saving has 3 characteristics. It is a sacrifice, it requires self-discipline, and it needs to be consistent. All right. Moving on. The next financial concept is the X-curve concept. So the X-curve concept states that ideally, over time, as we get older, our responsibility decreases and our wealth increases, as shown by the 2 curves that run to opposite directions during our lifetime. So the red line is our responsibility line and the green line is our wealth line. So when we are younger, we have high levels of responsibility. We have the responsibility to take care of our family since we are the ones working to help our parents, our siblings, or if we are starting our own family. If we are the breadwinner, it is our obligation, whether we live or die, to provide for food, shelter, clothing, education, healthcare, and to pay our bills and loans. Our income during this time is usually temporary and our needs are permanent, right? So we are using a temporary income to support permanent needs. So thereby we are less secure. At this time also, normally we have little or no savings at all. That's why we work hard to have money and to receive active income to provide for us and our family. On the other hand, as we get older, ideally we are increasing our wealth. Because by the time we are 40 or 50 years old, we are already done paying for our loans, our debts, the education of our kids, the house, and other expenses. And we are saving and investing more, right? So hence, as we get older, we have lesser responsibilities and more savings and investments. Because even though we have these responsibilities, we continue to save money the right way, and that is paying ourselves first. The goal is to accumulate enough savings that will support us during our retirement years. So when we retire, we continue to receive income from our investments because our investments is how our money is working for us. And this income is what we receive, this income that we receive from our investments is called the passive income. Thus, when we get older, we say we are more secure. However, when we are younger and fulfilling our responsibilities, we need to consider the question, what if we die too soon? Are we prepared for this? Who will then take care of our families? Right? Because our families are depending on us. So, and when we get older, what if we live too long? Do we have enough savings that will last us 20 to 30 more years? Who will take care of us when we get sick and need to be hospitalized? Are we going to depend on our children? Are we going to be an additional responsibility to them? If these are the questions that we are considering right now based on this graph, if we die too soon, life insurance can help take care of our family because life insurance is equivalent to instant cash that can help our family in the event we die too soon. And if we live too long, investment and long-term health care will take care of us. So as parents or future parents or a working spouse or partner who are financially educated, we now know that we need to take care of our families who are depending on us during our younger years, and we should not make our children our investments or retirement fund when we get older and retire. So let us strive then to have life insurance to take care of our family if we die too soon, and start our own investments and long-term healthcare plans to take care of us when we live too long. All right. Okay, the next one is the power of compound interest using the rule of 72. So compound interest is the interest earned on money that was previously earned as an interest. In other words, interest on interest over time. And this is best described using the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 was popularized by Albert Einstein, and it is a shortcut used to estimate the number of years required to double our money at a given annual rate of return. So we simply divide 72 over the interest rate. So if we have 4% or interest rate, 72 divided by 4 equals 18, so our money doubles every 18 years. For an 8% interest rate, our money doubles every 9 years. And for a 12% interest rate, our money doubles every 6 years. Easy as that, right? So to illustrate, let's take an example. So let's say this is you and you are age 29 now, and you have 100,000 pesos to invest. Next, you put your 100,000 pesos in an account that gives 4% interest rate. So at age 47, your money has grown or has doubled to 200,000 pesos. And at age 65, your 100,000 has grown to 400,000 because your investment doubled every 18 years. Okay? However, if you are able to invest in an account that gives 8% interest rate, then at age 47, your money has grown to 400,000 pesos. And at age 65, you have 1.6 million pesos because your investment doubled every 9 years. So see the difference between investing between 4% and 8% interest rates? So how much more if you invested your money in an account that gives you 12% interest rate, right? So you can see here at age 47, your money has grown to 800,000 pesos. And at age 65, you have 6.4 million pesos because your investment doubled every 6 years. So basically, when we invest our money, the higher the interest rate, the shorter the time it will take for our money to double. Or the higher the interest rate, the faster our money can double. And keep in mind that compound interest works best when investing for the long term, and that is around 20 to 40 years. So to give you another example, so let's assume we are investing in a mutual fund that provides 12% interest or 12% average annual return. So this is our interest rate. So using the rule of 72 divided by 12, that's 6. So our money doubles every 6 years. So if we consistently invest 500 pesos every month for 35 years, our contribution is 210,000 pesos. And with 12% average annual return, our investment can grow to as much as 2.9 million pesos. Okay? And if we have 30 years to invest 500 pesos every month, our total contribution is 180,000 pesos, and our investment can grow to 1.6 million pesos, and so on. Okay? So how much more if we are investing 1,000 pesos every month? So you see here, if we invest 1,000 pesos every month, see how much the money has grown. Okay? So in these examples, we can clearly see the difference, or the big difference, between money saved versus money invested. So if we save 500 pesos a month for 35 years in a savings account in the bank, the total sum is just around 210,000 pesos after 35 years. And with inflation, the value can be lower. Because what happens to our money in a savings account in the bank? If we still do not know this, most banks will only give us 1% annual interest or less. So applying the rule of 72, if we put 100,000 pesos in the bank, we will have to wait for 72 years before it can double and become 200,000. How much more if we are getting 0.5%? Can you imagine waiting for 144 years? However, we are not saying that we do not like banks, and we will discuss later in the next slides why we need them as well. So the key point here is the interest in savings accounts is too low to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So where then can we put our money so it can grow and balance inflation? So the answer to that is the stock market. We can put or invest our money in the stock market. So many of us have this misconception or wrong impression that investing in the stock market only belongs to the rich or the wealthy. We used to think that investing was only for this group of people. That's why we are fortunate to be here, because as early as now, we will correct this misconception. Now we know that investing is a great way to be rich or wealthy, especially for normal people, the working class or the middle income earners. It is in the stock market, anyone who has the means can invest in the stock market. And it is in the stock market where we can find investment platforms or financial instruments that will help us or help our money grow to offset inflation and increasing taxes. It is in the stock market where we can enjoy 8 to 12% interest rates for the money we invest. And we invest for our long-term goals, such as our retirement fund and big purchases. And we can invest in the stock market in two ways. That is through direct investing and indirect investing. So direct investing is when we actively trade in the stock market, meaning we participate in the buying and selling of shares or stocks of a company. An active trader is someone with the knowledge and skills to participate in trading in the stock market. And a lot of research, training, and time is needed before we can become a successful trader. So if we are not into direct investing, or we do not know how to actively trade in the stock market, we can still invest in the stock market through indirect investing, and that is investing passively in mutual funds. So if we are new to investing, it is recommended to invest in mutual funds and learn from there. So why mutual funds? First, it is easier to do. Second, the money that we invest will be handled by professional fund managers who are licensed and certified. Third, a mutual fund includes several companies and not just one, which provides a diverse investment portfolio. And fourth, investing in mutual funds requires a low investment minimum amount, because you can already start investing with just 1,000 pesos. So how do mutual funds work? Let's look at the next slide. So a mutual fund is a company that pools money from many individual investors like you and me, and the fund managers invest that money in securities such as stocks, bonds, and other assets of companies within that fund. Okay, so the fund managers are the ones who invest our money or buy shares from these companies. So all we have to do as individual investors is to continue investing or adding more money to our investment account and wait for our money to grow. So the generated returns or gains that we receive from our investments are from the profits or earnings gained by these companies. And our returns will depend, of course, on how much we invested in that mutual fund. All right? If this is too much, let's say, information overload for you guys, but you are interested in learning more about investing in mutual funds, please talk to the person who invited you so you can attend free classes on mutual funds investing. All right? So the bottom line here is understanding the concept of the power of compound interest using the rule of 72 makes us realize that there is no such thing as double or triple your money in 6 months or in a year, because those are most likely scams. Okay? And before we start investing our money in mutual funds, let us first understand the concept of building a solid financial foundation. So a strong and solid financial foundation will provide us with the financial security that we need, because these are the building blocks of true wealth. We need to understand that in order to achieve financial security, we should correctly start somewhere, right? You agree? Hope so. And we need to properly build our financial foundation so that when there are challenges or problems that we encounter, such as sickness, unemployment, emergencies, crisis, pandemic, we still have that financial security, that peace of mind. All right? So we build our solid financial foundation from the ground up, and it should look like this according to priority. So first, we must have proper healthcare coverage. Second, we must have proper protection or life insurance. Third, we should be able to manage and pay off all our debts. Fourth, we must have an emergency fund. And lastly, we should be able to save and make long-term investments. So for proper healthcare, there are 3 types of healthcare. We have the short-term healthcare, the senior care, and the long-term healthcare. So the short-term healthcare is the traditional HMO. This is the healthcare we get from the company where we are employed. So it has no life insurance coverage, renewal is not guaranteed, especially if there are high claims, and it only covers until age 60. So after we retire or when we are unemployed, we no longer have healthcare coverage or health insurance. Also, any unused premiums are not returned to us, so it's good as nothing, correct? And just like short-term healthcare, senior care is healthcare that covers beyond 60 years old. But this one is very expensive due to conditions that we might be having, or experiencing when we get older. And annual premiums increase as we age, and renewal is not guaranteed. So we do not recommend waiting to be at this age to get this expensive healthcare when we have the option of getting a long-term healthcare while we are able and insurable. So the long-term healthcare is a healthcare coverage with health savings account. It is renewable and has a fixed premium, and it has insurance coverage. All unused funds accumulates with interest because the unused premiums are being invested. And the best part is it covers beyond age 60 years old. Okay, and we will share with you in the next slides the long-term healthcare that we have here in the Philippines. So having the proper healthcare is the start of building our solid financial foundation. The old saying, health is wealth, rings through, because without proper healthcare, we might end up spending most of our savings and investments when we get sick or when we are hospitalized. Okay? Next. So the next part of our solid financial foundation is we need to have proper protection or life insurance. The main purpose of life insurance is to protect our loved ones, our business, or properties the moment we die. Okay? So as breadwinners or a working spouse or parent, our income is our superpower. Why? Because it is how we provide for our family to give them a comfortable life, right? Our family depends on our income for essentials like housing, food, clothing, education, and healthcare. Okay, if we do not have life insurance, and if something happens to us, such as we get sick or we die too soon, there's no guarantee our families will be comfortable. They will surely struggle, and we don't want that to happen to them, right? However, when we have life insurance together with some savings and investments, these can replace our income should something happen to us. Life insurance can help protect our family even when after we are gone. With life insurance, the basic needs are at least met since it is a replacement for the income that the family used to receive. We get life insurance not for ourselves, but for our families who are depending on us. And to know the right amount of coverage that we need, we compute for the coverage by multiplying our yearly or annual income by 10 years. So why 10 years? We need to prepare our family that we leave behind with enough money to support them pay for the essentials like housing, food, clothing, education, loans that we still need to pay, and other expenses. And for them to be able to adjust to these changes without the burden of financial stress and hardship. Okay, they are already emotionally stressed. We should not add more to that, right? Okay, so going back to our formula, if our annual income is 240,000 pesos times 10 years, the amount of coverage of the life insurance that we should get should be at least 2.4 million pesos. Okay? The next block, we should be able to manage and pay off our debts. So it is a known fact that it is easy to borrow money or get a loan or use a credit card because we can instantly buy the things that we want. Part of establishing our financial foundation is eliminating debts. We need to learn how to eliminate all our utang because if we ignore them, pretend they don't exist, they will continue to pile up. We find one way of eliminating debts is to increase our cash flow. We find ways to earn extra income like a side hustle or a side gig or a sideline, right? And if you want to learn more about ways of paying off debts, we also have classes for that. So just talk to the person who invited you, okay? So the key point here is to live below our means so that as much as possible we won't go into more debt by getting more loans. So overall, let's aim for a debt-free life and say goodbye to debts or utang. Okay. The next one is we should have an emergency fund. So this is money that is set aside in cases of emergencies such as job loss or sudden unemployment, accidents, unforeseen medical expenses, home or car repairs, and so on. So this is different from our savings or from our savings and investments, okay? So emergency fund is the money that we put in our savings accounts in the bank that has ATM accessibility. So whenever there is an emergency, we can easily withdraw the money. That's why we still need banks, as mentioned earlier. So having an emergency fund makes us prepared for any sudden financial situation, and it prevents us from using our insurance or investments in times of emergencies. And to compute for an emergency fund, we compute this by multiplying our monthly expenses by 12 months. Normally, it is 3 to 6 months of expenses. However, with this pandemic, it is suggested to have at least 12 months of expenses. Okay, so to start, we list down all our monthly expenses such as rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, internet bills, cable and phone bills, and other bills, and multiply the total by 12 months. For example, if we have 10,000 pesos monthly expenses times 12 months, we should have at least 120,000 pesos as emergency fund in our savings accounts. Okay, and we can always start small and eventually we can build up our goal amount. Okay, so for our guests, are you still with me? Clear pa rin ba? Can you please give me a heart reaction to make sure that I haven't lost you guys? Okay, thank you very much. All right, so in the last one, we should be able to build up our savings and investments. Thank you very much for the heart reactions. When we are young and working, we need to save up for our retirement. We need to have enough money to support us when we no longer have jobs or active income. And if we do not know this yet, we compute for our retirement fund using this formula. So we multiply our yearly or annual income by 20 years. So why 20? We are considering the number of years that we may live after age 60. And we need this big amount for us to offset inflation and increasing taxes. So if we are earning 240,000 pesos a year times 20, our retirement fund should be at least 4.8 million pesos. We might think we won't be able to save for this amount if we only have 20 or 30 years before retirement, right? However, there are ways that we can achieve such goal, and that is to invest in mutual funds and long-term health care. All right. So here is, as a summary, here is a copy of the Solid Financial Foundation that you can take a screenshot of, so you can have a copy, because it also includes the action plans that we need to take to establish our financial house. Because with a strong foundation, we will be provided with a well-established financial house, which means a financially secured family. Again, for proper health care, we get the short-term health care during our working years and long-term health care plan for our retirement years. For life insurance, we get the minimum coverage, which is our annual income times 10 years. We need to live below our means to avoid overspending and increase our cash flow so that we can manage to pay all our debts. We need to set aside an emergency fund, which is 12 times our monthly expenses. And lastly, we need to build up our retirement fund by computing our annual income by 20 years, and we can achieve our retirement fund goal by investing in mutual funds and long-term health care. So the next question would be, how do we start? Where do we start? And how can we start building our financial foundation, right? So for most of us who are new to these concepts, it might be challenging to start building our solid financial foundation. However, if there are three major financial needs that we must secure first for ourselves and our family, these are proper health care, proper protection or life insurance, and savings and investments. So in IMG, IMG is not only here to give us financial education, but it is also here to provide us with a platform to start increasing our income and give us access to the different trusted companies that will offer us the right insurance and investment opportunities. So one of IMG's partner companies to help us start building our solid financial foundation is Kaiser International. So Kaiser International is the only company in the Philippines that offers long-term health care that is coupled with protection or life insurance and investment. So in this program, we do not need to save separately for health care and another for insurance and another for investment. Okay, so that's why it's called a 3-in-1 program, because with just one saving, we can already save for this three. So we have health care to pay for our hospital bills and as an HMO during our retirement years. We have life insurance to protect our family in case we die too soon. And we have investment to provide income that we need when we retire and when we live too long. All right? So the Kaiser Ultimate Health Builder, or simply the Kaiser Plan, is a long-term healthcare plan that we save for just 7 years. Okay, and we have several plans that we can choose from based on age and preference. So let's look at our example here, and let's say we are 22 years old now, and we get the Kaiser K100 plan, which is provides the long-term care benefit worth 100,000 pesos. Okay, so the total contract price is 411,750 pesos, which we can pay monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, or spot cash. Take note that there is also an annual policy fee of 500 pesos. So in our example here, let's say we are paying annually. So that is 58,821 pesos plus 500 pesos policy fee every year for 7 years. So during the 7-year saving period or the accumulation period, we receive benefits such as free checkups, APEs, dental benefits, waiver of installment due to death or disability, basic medical benefits, and so on. And after the 7-year saving period, we will be given a certificate of complete payment. Then all we have to do is allow our money to grow for the next 13 years. So during the growth period or the extended period, we still get the benefits mentioned earlier. And upon reaching maturity or on the 20th year, our money that we saved worth 411,750 pesos has now accumulated to almost 1.2 million pesos. So our saving for just 7 years can reach this amount provided we did not get sick and use a portion of the savings amount. Okay? All right, next. So after the growth period and after our money has grown into 1.2 million pesos, we have the following options. We can withdraw the entire maturity value, withdraw portions of it, or retain the maturity value and let it grow further. Take note, however, that if we choose the first option, that is withdraw the entire maturity value, we will no longer have coverage under the Kaiser plan. Hence, it is highly recommended to keep the whole amount or a portion of it invested so we continue to have healthcare coverage, which is the main goal or the main idea of the Kaiser healthcare plan in the first place. Okay? So going back to our example, if we started saving for this Kaiser healthcare plan by age 22, and when we reach 60 years old, provided we haven't used or withdrawn any of our savings, the total accumulated amount can grow to as much as 6.4 million pesos. And by age 65, that investment can grow to 10.4 million pesos. How did that happen? Compound interest. Okay? So the Kaiser Healthcare Program is a health fund for when we get sick, but if we remain healthy, and it becomes a savings and investment fund. I'm sure our guests have questions in mind, so if you want to know more about Kaiser Healthcare Program and the different Kaiser plans, please talk to the person who invited you after this class, so you will be provided with more information. All right? Okay, so we're almost done for the day. Are you still with me, guys? Everyone, can you give me a thumbs up? Thank you very much. All right. So, aside from Kaiser International, IMG is also partnering with several big companies in the country providing healthcare, life insurance, investment, and other financial products and services. And with these partnerships, IMG is providing a lot of benefits to its members. So here is a list, not really a complete one, but some of these partner companies are listed here per category. Okay? So by being a member of IMG, we can avail of the products and services of these companies for free or at a discount. Okay? And here are the benefits I will be explaining in the next slides, or showing you the benefits in the next slides. I will be showing you in the next slides the benefits that IMG is giving to its members. Okay, so these are benefits help us start saving for our future based on the financial concepts and principles of building wealth. Okay, so we have 62 of them. That's a lot to explain for the next 9 minutes. So we'll just give me a moment to highlight the top favorites. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, we have unlimited free financial seminars, trainings and workshops, financial checkups, and classes, as this is IMG's ultimate mission. And we have free 100,000 personal accident insurance, 50,000 life insurance from Fidelity Life. Let me just show you here. Okay, so this is the 100,000 personal accident insurance, and we have the 50,000 life insurance from Fidelity Life with just 500 pesos. We have free eye checkup and eyeglass frames. We have free unlimited consultation at Kaiser Medical Center, and that is for members. And we also have discounted medical services for members and their immediate family. Okay. We have free mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and we can invest for as low as 20 pesos. We have access to Manila Bankers Life for affordable life insurance. We have access to free investment seminars and access to My Trade if we are into direct investing in the stock market. We can also avail of discounts on non-life insurances such as travel insurance, car insurance, and so on, and discounts on real estate purchases. Next, we also have access to services such as asset preservation, legal assistance, memorial services, and auto program. In IMG, we also have rewards. We can be traveling the world for free. We have world-class recognition, and we can qualify for free HMO when we continue to do the business ownership program and reach certain milestones. Next, IMG is also providing its members with informative materials and online tools to support us in our online financial businesses, and we have free classes and trainings to learn this online system. Of course, we are not forgetting our international coded members. Okay, so IMG conducts events and provides worldwide protection and benefits for OFWs and members who are outside the country with international codes. Okay, and lastly, in IMG, we can earn extra income via the business ownership program to increase our cash flow, and this can be the start of our own business career as a financial educator in the financial industry. So to get more information on these exclusive benefits that we can get in IMG, again, please talk to the person who invited you. Okay? So how do we start receiving these great lifetime benefits at IMG? The answer is simple: become a member. And this is a lifetime membership with yearly accreditation. And we have two membership options, the basic membership and associate membership. So if we choose to get the basic membership, we pay a one-time fee of 6,000 pesos for the Philippine code. International codes for international members have different fees. So if you're outside the Philippines, please talk to the person who invited you so you can get more details on these. And with the basic membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 62 benefits mentioned earlier, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as a financial planner, 50,000 death and memorial benefit, 100,000 accident insurance benefit, online mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and unlimited financial education, trainings, and classes. And as we can see here, in the upper right side, with just the basic membership, 2 blocks of the solid financial foundation are already covered, which are life insurance and investment. Okay, so if we choose the associate membership, we pay the one-time fee of 6,000 pesos plus the first month's payment of the Kaiser Healthcare Plan. So in our example, we are using the K100 plan, hence the total initial payment is 12,382 pesos. And with this membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 62 benefits mentioned earlier, the opportunity to be licensed and accredited as a financial planner, 50,000 death and memorial benefit, 100,000 accident insurance benefit, 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and unlimited financial education, trainings, and classes. And as we can see here in the upper right side, with just the basic membership, 2 blocks of the solid financial foundation are already covered, which are life insurance and investment. Okay, so if we choose the associate membership, we pay the one-time fee of 6,000 pesos plus the first month's payment of the Kaiser Healthcare Plan. So in our example, we are using the K100 plan, hence the total initial payment is 12,382 pesos. And with this membership, the benefits that we can get are access to the 62 benefits mentioned earlier, the the opportunity to be licensed as and accredited as a financial planner, up to 500,000 boreal death benefit, 1 million accident insurance benefit, the online mutual fund account with 1,000 pesos worth of shares, and unlimited financial education trainings and classes, plus the opportunity to start a financial business. Okay, so the financial business has a 6-figure income potential. Okay, which will help, if we do this, which will help us increase our cash flow, which in turn will help us manage our debt, build an emergency fund, and increase our investment. And of course, we have our Kaiser 3-in-1 long-term healthcare plan. So, and with the financial foundation, you can see that with the associate membership, all blocks are covered, which makes this a great start for us in building our own solid financial foundation. So if you want to take a screenshot of this table, you may do so, and including the next slide, which is a breakdown of the fees that we will be paying for. Okay, so take a screenshot of this slide as well and discuss in detail with your inviter. If you are interested in becoming a member or to learn more about the membership options, please do not hesitate to have a chat with your inviter after this class. Okay? So in closing, after learning all the realities that we are facing and the benefits that we can get from IMG, what are we still waiting for? I'm confident to say that saving and investing are the right choices for us to start achieving financial security. Because when we delay this decision, time is running out on us. We will still get older next year, our kids will grow up and enter college, and we will need money to pay for their education, and we will eventually retire and stop making active income. The point is to take action now and invest in the present to ensure a secure future for us and our family. Be part of a community or a group that inspires you. When members of your community save and invest, you will be inspired to save and invest as well, because the opposite will happen. When you surround yourself with people who are spenders, you will likely spend more than you earn. Hence, find your money tribe that will help you rise from the financial challenges and help you achieve financial success. IMG's mission is to convert people from being spenders to savers and to teach them how to save the right way. And in IMG, we all start as savers, and we can become an advocate, an educator, and an entrepreneur. Being here now, our guest, you can be included in our movement, the 30M by 30 Financial Literacy Campaign. So please provide your name and your contact information to your inviter so you will be counted. Further, we are encouraging all our guests here today to invite more of your family and friends or whoever who can benefit from this class. Let's all share the mission and grow our financially educated community. As of 10 a.m. today, we are able to reach 4.1 million Filipino families around the globe. So let us all be part of this advocacy and start building a better future. Remember that financial independence is not a dream, it is a decision to make. Don't just dream about financial security, make it happen. And why not start our journey towards financial freedom with IMG. Alright, thank you very much again for joining us today. Thank you for investing your time. I hope everyone learned something new, relearned something familiar, and unlearned something that needs changing. Thank you everyone. Let's continue to stay safe, and God bless us all.